the most challenging part of the business these days, would you say?
Well, I mean, there's certainly the competition is pretty tough out there, but I'd say probably for me is finding the key people and keeping the right people on staff, because it doesn't matter how many people come in the door or how much you want to discount prices or what you're selling. If you don't have the right people, on the front lines, that's where you lose the customer.
So how do you recruit people?
We've done it several ways. I mean, sometimes it's just somebody tells us about somebody, but a lot of it lately we've been using is Indeed. That's been pretty good. We've even found people on Craigslist before. We've done the Monster and all the different websites, and it just, you never know what you're going to get, but you go through enough of them and eventually you find a good one in there.
Yeah, I hear you. Getting people through the front door, that's obviously the payoff. That's what you want to do. What's the most productive way, would you say, for you guys to do that?
I think visibility of our location. We're on a main road, very visible. Most people, when you tell them where you are, they've passed us and they've seen our store. So location has been key. We realized that. We had another store that wasn't as easy to find. So we're conscious of that for the next locations to be visible. The social media is huge, like you were saying. Even if you just Google a question, site finished versus pre-finished. I found my own blog to come up when I've done that search. So that was kind of interesting. So those kind of things are important. Just longevity. I think people want to go to people that they know and have seen them stay around even in the tough times. So those kind of things keep the phone ringing.
Can you track people that walk in the front door back to any of the social media or even the blog?
I had a lady tell me yesterday we're doing flooring for her. I didn't even realize. I'd seen the name because I wasn't involved with that sale. And she mentioned she was doing flooring. And I said, oh, did you need help with paint colors? Because she was here looking at paint colors. And she said, oh, you're Rebecca. I've seen your reputation on House. So that was kind of nice to hear that she's heard of me. And so I've gained a little bit of popularity from color consulting in the Atlanta area.
Yeah. It's really hard to know who comes from where, I guess, unless you really
It's difficult.
sit down and go through a checklist of questions almost, which of course you can't do, I guess. I noticed on your website you didn't have product swatches. And maybe I'm wrong, but was that a conscious effort?
We have that option to add those, the catalogs like that, but for whatever reason, maybe it was because it was a combination website with the paint and the flooring. We just didn't want to barrage it with too much stuff. Now, I think there's a link there that gets back to the showcase, isn't there, for like Shaw or something like that. But I know we just, for whatever reason, just never implemented that.
Yeah. I'm just not sure. The reason I ask you, I'm not sure how a typical customer, I know that they tell me somewhere 85-90% of people who buy floor coverings spend some time on the internet. I'm sure there's all kinds of different ways that they do that, so sometimes for months before they even buy. How do you see that shopping campaign playing out from the time they start on the internet until the time the cash register rings here? How would you say that typically plays out?
Well, I think this is just based on what I'm observing, but this isn't by no means. I don't know if I'm way off base here, but I think a lot of people find us via the dealer locators. So if they happen to go on Shaw and they find a product they like, they go to the dealer locator and say, who's in my area, or whether it's on their mobile device, whatever it happens to be. I think that's how we get a lot of them. We've had people for, Benjamin Moore, it's the same way. I mean, some of the other products, Hunter Douglas would be the same way. And I think it's important to be on these dealer locators for a lot of these companies because, an odd off-brand that's not as big a name as a Shaw or a Mohawk, like a Palmetto Road, for instance, same thing, we're on the dealer locator. So I think that's the way a lot of people get to us once they found a product they like.
Do you get a lead when somebody finds you on the locator, or in most cases, do you?
We do get one from Shaw, but the rest of them, I don't think they send us anything. We'll get somebody that'll call. They'll say they found us on the dealer locator.
Okay. That would be a good idea, though, wouldn't it, for
Yes.
them to... I know some of them do give you a lead.
Yes, Shaw will email us if somebody contacts us via the website.
Ah, okay.
So-
Okay. Your sales team. Talk about that. Do you have the other design talent on your sales team?
I do. I have, she's off today, but I have an assistant who is a design student. She started off interning, and she's getting ready to graduate. That's been a good area to find people. I also have another lady that is working at Home Depot, and we're bringing her on. It will be good because she has a lot of product knowledge, but we'll have to kind of reconstruct a little bit of the way she helps the consumers that come into our store. It's not a rush. We want to take time with them. She's excited about that because that's one of the things that she realizes when you work at a big box, you don't get to spend as much time with the customer. Everybody is, they're always shorthanded. So that'll be a good fit. I mean, the goal is to find people that are able to sell, but customer service is key as well.
All things being equal, if you had the opportunity to hire a male who had some knowledge about the business, or a design-oriented, could be male or female, would you lean more towards the design person?
It seems like, being a female myself, people want to talk to another lady. They want to talk to a lady to get their perceptions of how this whole plan is going to come together. On the paint side, however, I would say it's good to have males over there. They want somebody who has done these projects, actually done the physical work. So I think it's a good balance that we need both.
The paint salespeople sell carpet, floor covering?
Depends. I mean, most of our employees do work on both sides to some extent. Jason is primarily, he's just on the paint side because he's pretty busy and pretty tied up over there.
Yeah.
But everybody else kind of goes back and forth and works on both sides as needed. So it's a good tie-in because you can work with the same salesperson for.
Do you hold regular sales meetings?
You know, we've held them from time to time. I wouldn't say we have a regular set schedule for them, but we do have, we do try to hold them semi-regularly, at least I would say.
I guess what I'm getting at too is you have a philosophy about running the business, and I guess it's necessary to have that philosophy at the people who are on the line of fire, I suppose, and it's difficult. I guess you can do that one-on-one as you need to, but that would seem to be at least a popular way to relay that information.
Definitely. I mean, that's something as we grow, I think will become necessary.
Yeah. Do you pay on commission?
We haven't been traditionally, but we are going to start to implement some more of that. We're going to start. We've done it a little bit in the past, and I've never found a great system that I was really pleased with. But as we expand, we're going to start doing more of that.
We didn't talk that much about product. I see a lot of carpet here. You sell wood. You had mentioned wood and finish. How about ceramic? Is that a big product for you guys?
We have tile. We do some tile. It's all about having the right installers. Tile can be very time consuming, but at the same time it's also very custom. So once you figure it out for a client, chances are you will sell them the product.
Yeah.
It has not been the biggest part of our mix in floor covering sales, but I think it's an area that's going to grow.
I got you. Installation. I've been hearing all kinds of problems from people that as the business improves and as people are getting more jobs, if you have the installers, you're king of the hill, it seems like. Is that the way you guys see it?
To us, that's extremely important. I mean, I've got the same carpet installer I've used for over 10 years now. And one of my wood installers that I still use, I've used for probably over 12 years. I have a couple others that are much shorter term than that, but I still have those guys to rely on when I really,
Yeah.
really need to. Now, my carpet guy, he's the main guy that I use for just about everything. But it makes a big difference when I don't have to worry about being out there and looking over their shoulder, and I know that's going to get done properly.
Yeah.
That's key to us. And when you have somebody that's worked for you for that long, and you give them that much work, they're gonna make sure they do it right.
Do you see younger guys coming in, whether it's wood, carpet, or anything? I mean, that seems to be a problem across the board in terms of skilled trades.
I think it's kind of turned into an issue where there's kind of a shortage out there of good installers. And it's hard work, so you get a good installer. How many years can these guys be on their hands and knees installing hardwood? The installer that I've used for over 12 years with hardwood, I mean, he's a hands-on guy, and he's already talked about he wants to try to get away from the installation part himself.
Yeah,
And
it's hard on your body.
exactly, and I can't blame him.
So you had mentioned a new store in Cumming, which is north
About,
of here.
12 miles, 14 miles, something,
Okay.
12 miles away probably.
What's the process? How are you going to, what's the process of doing? That would seem to be endless details. How do you lay out the floor? What are the products? And who knows what else?
There is a lot to it. I mean, luckily Benjamin Moore helps out quite a bit as far as the initial layout for me. They help with setting up how we're going to lay out the counters, how the shelving units, the warehouse shelving, all that kind of stuff, and lighting, those kind of things. Beyond that, that's where I bring in, probably I'll have Shaw involved helping me lay out some of the floor planning. So right now it's kind of like half the store is all laid out with the shelves and displays, or the shelves and tinning equipment. So the paint side's already laid out. The other side is kind of wide open, so it'll be something I can just put in displays wherever I so choose, but I'll get some input from them.
Very good. And you said this is maybe July, August, something
Yeah,
like that?
I would think somewhere in that time frame. There's, a lot of the construction's going on as we speak, so I'm hoping July would be somewhere in that range.
Very good, very good. I appreciate you guys having us here. It's been a pleasure talking
Thank
with
you.
you. I love your store, and
Thank you.
it's been busy as we've been talking. In fact, you had a customer when we started here who wanted
Right.
some design. So I mean, pretty busy. Whatever you're doing, it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's great. We have a lot going on. And every day it's different, and we like that, and our employees like that.
Very good. Well, thanks very much for talking with us. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate it.
We've been talking with Roy and Rebecca Dumas. We're at Gregory Paint and Flooring in Johns Creek, Georgia, and this is Talk Floor TV.